Ladies and gentlemen, in a world hungry for attention, Priyanka Chopra carved her silence into strength. Her journey from Bareilly to Hollywood wasn't just about fame. It was about choosing what to show and what to shield. Born into a family of doctors, her upbringing was disciplined, cultured, curious. She learned early that noise isn't always power. Sometimes restraint is. When she won Miss World in 2000, the spotlight fell hard and fast. But she stood calm, grounded, dazzled by the lights, but never blinded. In Bollywood, she was versatile and fearless, from playing a troubled model to an autistic girl. She embraced risk over repetition, and through each success, she spoke little. Letting her work speak loud, her fame grew, but so did her caution. Privacy became her power. She never overshared, never overexposed. She controlled her narrative, page by page. Headlines didn't dictate her truth. In an era of instant lives and open books, she stayed a quiet storm. She revealed only enough, never too much. Not hiding, but protecting. Because what's sacred must be safe. Her romantic life drew curiosity, but she chose silence over spectacle. When she married Nick Jonas, the world saw a fairy tale, but they missed the fortress of boundaries she built. Her choices were not reactions, but responses, measured, mindful. When critics talked, she listened, but didn't always answer. Not because she couldn't, but because she didn't need to. Priyanka understood what many forget. That mystery is magnetic. That keeping parts of yourself private isn't secrecy. It's sovereignty. And silence can be louder than 1,000 tweets. She broke into Hollywood on her own terms. Quantico wasn't just a role. It was a revolution. A brown woman leading an American show. Not loudly demanding space, but quietly owning it. She didn't broadcast her grind. She built in the shadows, revealed in results. Each win felt earned, not paraded. Each setback processed privately. When asked about controversies, she chose dignity over defense. She never fed the fire. She let time cool it. That's power. That's poise. Her memoir, unfinished, was revealing, yet never intrusive. She offered stories, not secrets, lessons, not losses. You read her truth, not her wounds. Privacy gave her perspective. It became her tool for balance. In a world addicted to the rush of relevance, she embraced longevity, not just fame, legacy. Through privacy, she preserved her peace. And peace fueled her purpose. Whether producing films or supporting education for girls, she let impact lead the way. She gave interviews with intention. She posted with purpose, never drowning in digital noise, never chasing algorithms, but following authenticity. As a woman of color, she knew every misstep would be magnified. So she moved with thought, not fear, but clarity. Her silence didn't mean absence. It meant preparation. While others performed their hustle, she cultivated hers, off camera. There's grace in keeping some chapters closed, some joys sacred, some griefs personal. Priyanka honored that grace. That restraint became her radiance. She's present, but never predictable. Available, but never exposed. Connected, yet contained. Transparent, not translucent. Seen, but sovereign. When trolls threw shade, she didn't clap back. She stepped forward. With her next project, next milestone, her revenge was relevance, earned, not argued. Privacy allowed her to grow in silence, to learn, reflect, refine. Not every journey needs a witness. Some successes bloom best unseen. She's not afraid of being misunderstood. Because she knows her truth. She doesn't need approval, just alignment, with self, with soul. In a time when value is confused with visibility, she proves that power is presence, not performance. And privacy is not weakness. It is wisdom. She's global now. Yet still rooted, still shaped by discipline, curiosity, and courage. She's a wife, actress, producer, author, icon, but labels don't define her. Intentions do. And in all things, she chooses intention. Her daughter was born quietly. Her joy stayed private. She never made motherhood content. She made it sacred. Fame didn't consume her. She consumed it, carefully, and redefined it on her own terms. She's proof that boundaries are beautiful, that silence isn't emptiness, but space for depth, meaning mastery. She builds bridges across cultures, languages, industries, but she also builds walls. To protect what's hers, not everything deserves an audience. Some moments deserve reverence. That's what she knows. That's what sets her apart. Priyanka Chopra is not just a star. She's a strategist. Every choice deliberate, every silence wise. She doesn't owe the world everything, just her best. And that she gives consistently. When asked about her future, she smiles with mystery. She walks into rooms and the air shifts. Not because she shouts, but because she arrives, whole, composed, silent in strength. Priyanka Chopra is not made for the moment. She's built for the era, because she doesn't chase trends. She defines them. In interviews, she smiles, smart, thoughtful, sharp. She gives enough to inspire, but never enough to be owned. Not every truth belongs to the timeline. Not every moment needs documentation. She knows this. She lives by it. She's on magazine covers, but her soul isn't on display. You see her style? Yes. But her silence is her strongest look. The world asks, what's next? She replies with a project, never just a post. She doesn't announce her work with noise. She delivers it. Refined, impactful. Her social media isn't her diary. It's a gallery of milestones, not a minute-by-minute confession booth. Just a curated mirror of her pace. When tabloids speculate, she doesn't chase rumors. She doesn't correct every whisper. She knows truth doesn't beg to be believed. And in that space, she rises above the noise. Detached, not distant. Present, not pressed. The camera loves her, but she keeps something behind the lens. Her peace, her family, her process. Those remain untouched. She's a citizen of the world, but her home is her own. And her heart? Not for public consumption. She builds bridges between cultures. East meets West in her words, in her roles, in her identity. But the bridge to her soul is gated. Some call it cold, but it's courage. To be fully known, yet rarely exposed. That's artful living. Her foundation helps young girls. Her voice uplifts the unheard. But she doesn't parade it. She does it because it matters. She doesn't just attend galas. She funds futures. She doesn't post from war zones. She advocates in boardrooms. There's a difference between visibility and value. She's chosen value because fame is fleeting, but legacy, lasting. Her fashion is fierce. Her choices are fire, but her values, unshaken. That's her root system. She has friends in every industry, yet her circle is private. Trust isn't handed. It's earned. Some stars live in the flash. She lives in focus. She doesn't crave the clickbait. She craves meaning. Her business moves, strategic. Her partnerships, purpose-driven. She's the face of luxury, but never lost in it. Because the richest thing she owns is her narrative. When she gave birth to her daughter, she didn't trend. She transformed, privately, powerfully. She didn't turn it into a brand. She turned it into a bond, a lesson in love, not in likes. In every interview, she controls the flow. Not evasive, just intentional. Her life isn't an open field. It's a garden with gates. The price of fame, she's paid it. But she's also protected what money can't buy. While others chase the algorithm, she builds architecture of a career, a voice, a movement. She's rooted in discipline, grown by self-respect, fed by ambition, watered in silence. The world watches her rise, but they don't see her roots, because that's where the power lives, beneath the surface. You don't need to know her breakfast order or her playlist. You need to see her work, because that's the message. She's not selling a lifestyle. She's modeling integrity. And in doing so, she stands out in a crowded world. She mentors without shouting, leads without showing off, wins without boasting. Every deal she signs has vision behind it. Every speech she gives comes from lived truth. You don't see her breakdowns because she heals privately. You don't see her plans because she builds quietly. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your becoming. She knows that. She lives that. Her power? Not in being everywhere, but in being intentional where she is. She loves fiercely, but quietly. She dreams boldly, but off-screen. Her brand is not her identity. Her Instagram is not her soul. Her beauty is not her currency. Her mind is. She isn't just a representation. She's a reinvention of what a global woman can be. Actor, artist, activist, architect of her own empire. She doesn't need to be allowed to be legendary, because the legends echo in silence. Her story isn't for consumption. It's for contemplation. Her journey, a blueprint for balance. In a noisy world, her calm is revolutionary. In a revealing culture, her restraint is powerful. Her silence isn't empty, it's sacred. It holds dreams, ideas, futures. She's not a prisoner to public opinion. She's the warden of her own peace. You might wonder what she's thinking. That's the point. She doesn't give it all away. Because privacy is her protection. And that privacy, that's what gives her longevity. She doesn't burn out. She burns steady. She's not trending. She's timeless because she knows what lasts isn't loud. In every decision, she reflects, not reacts.